Look at you searching for some drama. And you are in the right place, because today we are talking about the Cradle of Filth drama. I decided to do this video because as a one-man band, I wanted to give my unrequested opinion about the situation, because there is some stuff that... So I will do a little recap for those of you that doesn't know what is going on, and then we will talk about it. Let's go. So everything started August 24, when the girl that played the keyboard in Cradle of Filth, Zoe Mary Fedorov, wrote this post. Basically saying that she's leaving Cradle of Filth for personal reasons, and that people should respect her privacy and family's privacy. She will not answer any more further questions. Let it go, okay? Obviously people are people, so...
Did maybe your husband cheat on you while on tour?
The fact that you can leave a comment doesn't mean you have to, you know? So obviously internet is full of intelligent people, so she had to address the situation, saying that no. My husband is not cheating on me. My husband is a good person. And she added then some more stuff like that he and her, they were planning to leave Cradle of Filth this year, but certain events have sped that up for her. And that she don't want to, you know, clarify anything more and to just enjoy the rest of the shows of this tour. And I think the situation could have ended up here, right? But then her husband, which is the guitarist in the band, wrote also a post saying basically that people should stop, you know, talking about him and his wife and their private life, and then that he's indeed leaving Cradle of Filth at the end of the current tour. And he said that the reason behind this is that they simply don't feel like Cradle can provide for their future, and in fact hinders it. And I will read this next part. Among other reasons, it is a lot of work for relatively low pay, the stress is quite high, and we haven't felt for a while like the band actually prioritizing, caring about members. It has been years of unprofessional behavior from people above us that led us to our decision. I have also asked all compositions of mine removed from upcoming releases, including Ed Sheeran collaboration. This song feels like foolish clown antics for me at this point. First it was charity single for kids, then for profit single, then on next album, and now who knows, and I just do not want to be involved anymore. And after I read this, I was like, how Danny Field will play with him? He will not finish the tour, that's for sure. So yeah, he got fired immediately, and his wife also wrote another things that I think was really wrong to put online, but whatever. This is our final account of what's happened and why. We planned this transition out of Cradle of Filth months ago. Management is dishonest, manipulative, and tries to take money that belongs to us with no contract between us session musician and him. When I called them out on this attempt theft of album advance money from Screaming of the Valkyries, they called me cancer and dead horse and threatened to fire me. The frontman does nothing to stop them and hides behind them while they belittle and steal. We hold the frontman responsible for hiring this management and never advocating for his team, only himself. Other ex-members try to tiptoe around this and only blame management. Management works for the frontman. He might not get his hands dirty, but in the end he directs them. The atmosphere he creates is threatening, abusive, and constantly exploits us for very low wages, yet also demanding exclusivity to Cradle's schedule. We do not make even the bare cost of living. Yet, we are told not to tour with other bands to supplement income. This madness to keep people locked in poverty for the ego of one person. We attack the contract they attempted to trap all session members in for a 25% rise, the first rise in 7 years. Our lawyer called it the most psychopathic contract a session musician could ever be handed. We did not sign and made a decision to leave this year instead. So we left because we were being used and paid less than the cost of living. The health toll it took on us also let me miscarry our first pregnancy on tour. We chose to leave to save ourselves and create a better future for our family. Now that we are out, the sun is shining, our family has hope, and we hope every session musician who thinks about joining Cradle reads these contracts and talks to a lawyer. Good luck to whoever tries to make it work next. And remember, we all know the guy who says all his exes are crazy. Are you sure all of them? Or could the problem be you, 40 plus people later? Farewell to the fans and our fellow session members and crew. They were the only part of this that remain good memories. Now I have a problem with this statement, but I want to talk about it later. Again, I don't want to take the parts of anybody, I'm just focusing of how things works in a band, especially if it's a one-man band. So after this, she posted the contract that Danny made, because Danny DeVay, that's his name. I will not read the first page because it's basically like what they have to do, what is requested from them, I want to go to the second page where is how much they get. In consideration of the provision of your service, we agree to pay you as follow. The sum of £200 per day for all days upon which you are required to perform, record, rehearse, or attend other activities with or on behalf of the artist. So every time you play, you get £200. Every time you are in the studio recording that day, £200. Rehearse, £200 that day. B, the sum of $150 for days spent traveling. I don't know if that includes like the day you're traveling to a festival or just the day off when they don't play. I don't understand that part, It can be that the days that they are not playing and you just travel to another, place, you get still $150. A per diem of £25 per day for each day upon which your services are required by the artist. I don't know what the hell is this. I guess it's for the like food and stuff like this, but I'm not sure. I don't understand. And the annual payment of £1,000 for the use of your image for performances in video, merchandise, photographs, and other such. Okay, so £1,000 at the end of the year for having used your image basically in different things. In addition to that, they should get, as I read, something from the merchandise and from the meet and greets. But what triggers a lot of people I've seen is the last page when he says basically that either party should be entitled to terminate this agreement upon giving 90 days written notice. So like in every company, you have to give advice before you fire yourself. In the event that you fail to give 90 days written notice of your termination of this agreement, you agree that you will be liable to us for all costs incurred by us as a result up to a maximum of £1 million. And people here are like, oh fuck, he's crazy, £1 million. But this is done on purpose, that obviously if you have a tour or something of 1 month, 2 months, organize a tour that costs, and people leave you in the middle of the tour, this will discourage them, And the rest, it's like a classical lawyer stuff, like you agree that you'll blah, 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 blah. Now, what I think about all of this, let me take a band first as an example, okay? Let's take a band like Behemoth. Behemoth is made by 3 members, 3 official members, and all the 3 members have the same rights on the name of the band. That means that every income under that name is shared equally by the 3 members in the band. Cradle of Filth, despite what people think, it's a one-man band. Cradle of Filth is Danny Filth. There's no other people there. It's Danny Filth. Just like Megadeth, it's Dave Mustaine. Just like Marilyn Manson is Marilyn Manson, and so on. There's thousands of examples. Everybody else is a session musician. A guy that gets a contract with an offer, and then it's on him if it's okay with that contract. So when I see this post, my first thought is like, you didn't like the contract? Okay, so why you were part of the band for 3 years? There must have been contracts even before. You probably know that you were making this amount of money for 3 years. And she mentioned that this was the first raise, 25% in 7 years, but she wasn't even part of the band before. So why bring that up like something that affected her before? And her husband has been in the band for 11 years. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 11 years. I'm not saying that the situation is great in Cradle of Filth. I don't know. I'm just saying that, if you're okay for 11 years to work in a toxic environment, it's kind of useless come out after those 11 years and then complain that the paycheck wasn't good. It's like when I got my first job at 24, I was desperate because I couldn't find a job. So the region where I lived before offered to pay a company basically to hire me. So for the first year I was making €500 monthly, and I was doing also shifts for an entire year. So imagine me going then online and write like how shitty they are because they were paying me €500 when I accepted that. So my point is, you are not part of the band because she mentioned that they are session musicians. So if you think that the deal is not good, there's 2 things you can do. Find another band that pay you more, or find a different job. That's the only thing you can do. But if you end up being in a band for 3 years and it was okay before, it's useless then to complain after this 3 years. I have a friend that played for some times with a big band. Okay, this is another one-man band. And this guy was making like $4,000 per show. Do you know how much my friend was paid? 23 euros per show. And I'm not joking. I'm like, dude, why 23? Why don't 20? Why don't 25? Why 23? He said he don't know. He was always giving them 20 and then little coins. I don't know what kind of fetish that guy has, but yeah, but he accepted it. And you know why? Because there's a line out there of people that will do everything to get that position. And the same with Cradle of Filth. Also, we make 150 daily currently and 25k a year roughly. And again, where is the problem? I don't see why I write this stuff online. It's a company. You get in this company, they offer you this contract, you accept it or you refuse it. End of the story. I remember some times ago I was reading an interview with Tom from Sodom. And I've read that at some point he has to decide, like with the current music situation, you know, or to find a normal job or to fire the guys that he has in the band and find some guys that cost him less. And that's the problem, guys. When the music, you know, it's consumed mostly in digital nowadays and these platforms like Spotify and so on doesn't pay you shit. It's really hard if you are a full-time band, make a living out of it. So at some point you have to take decisions. If you want to survive, you have to cut somewhere. Because yes, the romantic bullshit that I hear and read constantly about, I thought that the band is about being a bunch of friends playing for passion. Yes, as long as you're in your mom's basement. But as soon as you start to play concert, there is some voices to do, taxes to pay. It's a business then. It's a company. And reading again the post, I don't know why to bring the pregnancy in the conversation like someone forced her to do that, or I wouldn't bring up the stuff, you know. Nobody forced you to go on tour, nobody forced you to do that. You choose to be okay with that lifestyle. Then again, if I go on his profile, I see that he is endorsed by 4 different companies. Now, at this level, I don't know if this company provides that just like the guitars, or he gets like a monthly paycheck from this company for using their products. Because if he gets also an extra from there monthly, that's already another story, you know. There's many things to take in consideration. The drummer also is a session musician, but he's also playing with Cradle of Filth since 2006. And I see from one of his last posts on Instagram, he say, Montevideo, thank you, we will never cancel a show. So I don't know, man. Seems to me that he's pretty okay with the paycheck and the lifestyle and etc. Also, the bassist is there since 2012. There's also some stuff that she posted on Instagram on her story that actually made me cringe so much. Basically, she reposted a story from Danny Filth that where it was written, "Don't go to war with witch," and she wrote, "It's okay then if we're bringing spiritual beliefs into it. I'm Catholic and I'm praying for your salvation. God loves you and sees the beauty and truth you were meant for. He wants you to become a better man, repent and believe in the gospel." Now, for 3 years, you were getting paid and you were okay with that, with a band that has a t-shirt with written, "Jesus is a cunt." I want to repeat it. Jesus is a cunt. And now you're playing the good Christian? It's so fucking embarrassing to read. And I was reading some comments and a guy say, how the hell you figure out after 3 years that it was a toxic place, and how the hell your husband, was there for 11 years, was okay with this. And she said, I always know, but we kept hoping we could improve the situation and make it equitable. They just aren't interested. We love the music and our friends, but everything else was pretty bad. So your husband hoped to improve the situation for 11 years. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. This is another thing, that people don't understand out there. I see people say, oh, Danny's nothing without the musician. He doesn't know how to make music. He don't write the music. Even Ozzy Osbourne didn't write the music. Did you wake up now in 2025? You never heard or seen this stuff? Do you remember Bark at the Moon? One of my favorite albums. If you go on Wikipedia, who wrote the songs? It's written Ozzy Osbourne wrote all the instrumental, all the vocals, everything. We all know that it's not true. We all know that Jake Lee wrote everything, but he had to sign a contract when he renounced about his rights on the songs. It's how it works. Nobody forces you. You can decide to do it or not to do it. Anyways guys, this is all for this video. Let me know what you think about this entire story. And as always, I will see you all soon in the next video. Cheers!
Satan.